Do you think that this could be a make or break issue for the Harris campaign when it comes to winning or losing? Because when it comes to those battleground states, when it comes to people really caring about those kitchen table issues, when they think about the economy under Trump versus Harris, and Trump is pulling with these numbers, I mean, is this how detrimental is this to the Harris campaign?
Well, it's an interesting breakdown in the data, or there's an interesting breakdown in the data because each of the candidates has their strength, both in terms of their character and what they bring to the table, and in terms of their issues. And I'm going to take a moment to break it down for our audience because this is a very important element to answering your question. So Harris is seen as having a better temperament than Trump. 48% say she has a better temperament. 37% say Trump has a better temperament. About 15% are undecided. Um, she Voters say slightly that she represents change more than Trump, but this is driven largely by Democrats and independents who are very dissatisfied with Biden as the Democratic nominee. And again, she has a slight edge on having the right values, 47% to 41%, with 13% undecided. So +6 on having the right values, and +6 on caring about people like me, right? So by and large, she has appeal with voters, and they generally see her as being slightly more trustworthy, 44% to 39% for Trump, and slightly more honest, 43% to 37% for Trump. Now, where it flips over is who has the experience to be president. Trump wins by 10 points. 50% say Trump, 40% say Harris, 10% undecided. Who understands the economy? Trump is up by 7 points, 49% to 42% for Harris, with 9% undecided. And the numbers are almost exactly the same for the question of who will get things done. Trump 49, Harris 42, 10% undecided. Who understands foreign policy? Again, Trump is ahead, 47% for Trump, 40% for Harris, 13% being undecided. And then Trump is also seen as being a fighter and someone who will push through whatever he's promising for his voters in the election. 50% say he's a fighter, 43% view Harris more as a fighter, and about 7% are ahead. So each of them have their relative strengths and weaknesses on the character side, and the picture carries over when it comes to the issues as well. So Harris is seen as being stronger on abortion, racial equality, education, healthcare, and climate change. She's roughly ahead, double digits compared to Trump. But Trump is ahead when it comes to the economy, 7 points ahead, inflation, 8 points ahead, fiscal responsibility, 5 points ahead, immigration, 12 points ahead, and then on a whole array of defense and foreign policy issues from combating terrorism to Israel Hamas war and beyond. And what's interesting is that voters in general feel that they know enough where Kamala Harris stands on the issues. 70% say I know enough, and 30% say need to know more. And about 83% say they know enough about Trump, and 17% say they need to know more. So, given all of this information, and given that each of the candidates has strengths, relative strengths within their character, relative strengths within their issues, and voters generally feel that they know enough about them, what that means is that what will really give the candidates traction over the next 30 to 60 days is a vision for the future, concrete solutions that cause a buzz amongst voters, and they can really anchor on a plan for solving one of the issues that matter to them most. But it could also come down to the debates tomorrow night or subsequent debates, because voters really are trying to find which candidate has the edge, right? And which of them can give them a better path forward and a better deal for the next 4 years. So a very much a split picture. Each of the candidates has relative strengths, and it's an election where a 23rd hour surprise or a 23rd hour policy initiative that really gives traction to the candidate with voters can make a big difference.